Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining this live chat session. Ming Hon, Jim Toronto, FBI, Vanam War, Joes Vaziman, Love Cookie. Thank you for joining. Thank you, all of you. Tikim Tafira, Art 123, Art U, Sam Muhammad, Relaxation Heaven, Petros Sigai, Solomon Gabrehivot, Ali Raya, Farhan Abdullah, Lize Ilyas, Daut Bakele, uh, Jinibib Gebre Selassie, John Joda, A. Abu. Thank you for joining. Thank you, all of you. Ilyana Adane, Sisotu Birhane, Hero Volde, Georges Barakat, Tibabo, GYG, Neftalem, Mehritib, Romo Boys, FBI's. First question is from FBI, a dangerous name. What are the chances of there being a coup against Ethiopian government from within? Okay, I'll respond to it. Any chance of a coup against Ethiopian government? A. Hidi Hobas, Adil Tahir, Minghon, Farhan. Well, I don't see the possibility of a coup against PM Abiy because it's not that just PM Abiy wants fight war against TPLF. Almost all regional leaders are on board. PM Abiy is in full command of forces. Then major army officers, army chief, and other top men, they're on board as well. Why would they stage a coup? Honestly, most politicians see TPLF as a threat. That is why they would like to crush TPLF. I don't see the possibility of PM Abiy being removed through a coup. Adil Tahir, Minghon. Minghon says, any tensions on the Pakistan-Turkish Azeri border with Iran? Pakistan, Turkey, Azerbaijan conducted some drills in Azerbaijan close to Iran's border. Iran shares border with Azerbaijan, viewers, and this border was under the control of Armenian forces. But during Nagorno-Karabakh, Armenia had to withdraw. Now this border area is under Azerbaijan. After these maneuvers, Iran started its maneuvers on Iran side of the border. So there are tensions on Iran-Azerbaijan border. But let's just talk about Ethiopia. Edse Gabro, do you think TDF can resist new Abiy's plan? Yes, important question. Can TDF counter PM Abiy's new plan, keeping in view the likely use of drones and Ethiopian Air Force? Important question. The topic of today's discussion is what is PM Abiy planning? I'll respond to this question. What do you say? What do you think? What is PM Abiy planning? What does he want? What will he do in coming days? What do you say? Someone is saying Tigray defeated. He's planning his escape. No, he's not. I don't agree. He's not planning his escape. He thinks he's in command. You seem to be paid by government to just propagate its propaganda. Aaron Cambacho says. I don't know what government's propaganda is. He's planning to escape to Russia. Yared Bele says. No, he's not planning to escape to Russia. No. Any serious answers? It could be your wish, but what do you think objectively, without taking sides? I mean, keeping your loyalty aside, Analyze objectively. What do you think? What is he planning? He's planning to destroy Ethiopia. Someone is saying economically he is dwindling. Yes, I can agree to this extent that economically Ethiopian government is under pressure. It does not mean that PM Abiy is escaping, because several countries have worse economies than Ethiopia. Let's just respond to the question someone asked a few minutes ago about can TDF withstand the new offensive? Then we'll talk about new offensive. It would be test of TDF. TDF generals 3 days ago held a press conference, if you have seen that. They said that they were fighting for survival a few months ago. Now they are fighting for victory. They are fighting for advance, for moving into Amhara, into Afar. So they say they have taken a step ahead. From survival, now they are moving towards making gains. That is what they think of their position now. But Ethiopian Air Force drone strikes will make a difference. We don't know which types of drones have been bought by Ethiopia, Turkish or Iranian, or what's the range, what type of ammunitions these drones will use. So a lot depends upon the types of drones bought by Ethiopia, but definitely it would be difficult for Tigray to counter new offensive from ENDF, especially if TDF try to remain in control of major towns in Tigray like Mekelle, Adigrat, Aksum, Shire. It would be difficult for them to remain in control of these places and defend. They can defend easily, they can withdraw to mountains like they withdrew in November, they can continue their fight. But the problem is that will they make this decision? Will they withdraw to mountains once again or not? Yes, they can continue this war by withdrawing into mountains where drones will have limited efficiency. But it will be difficult for them to remain in control of towns, cities in Tigray and defend against new offensive from PM Abiy's forces. Someone is saying, is there a magic button to stop this war? I wish there would be such a button, because when you see pictures, videos, statements, poisonous statements, it's very disturbing that human life matters a lot. Even life matters, whatever life it is. But the way human life is being wasted in Ethiopia, that's disturbing. That's very disturbing. So I wish there could be a magic button to stop this war, but there isn't, unfortunately. What are you expecting in coming days? Siyan Tubas. Well, firstly, now PM Abiy is focused on forming new government. You know that after days, new cabinet is going to be announced. New ministers will be announced. Regional governments have almost been formed, especially the presidents have been elected in Oromia, Amhara, Sidama, then in Addis Ababa city. New governments have been formed, especially their presidents. Now center remains, federal cabinet, prime minister. They'll be announced in the next 2 to 3 days. After that, you'll see PM Abiy executing his new plan. And drones, airstrikes will be the key part of this new plan. Someone is saying just leave airstrikes aside, leave Ethiopian Air Force aside. No, no. This time, Ethiopian government is relying on air power. So when I was saying what is the planning of PM Abiy, PM Abiy is planning a major air offensive this time. Ground offensive is bound to suffer setbacks, casualties on invading side as well. But if you carry out airstrikes, drone strikes, no casualties on your side. You minimize your casualties and you increase the losses suffered by your forces, suffered by other forces. So most purchases of military equipment by Ethiopian government over the past few days have been related to air power. You're going to see air strikes, drone strikes in Amhara, in Tigray in coming days. We could see land invasion as well, but limited. The new planning is to make use of Ethiopian Air Force, Ethiopian newly purchased drones. It's open to discussion. Can TDF withstand this new offensive? Someone is asking about the size of new Ethiopian army. Well, in terms of personnel, it's not worth discussing. I mean, we know that they have made large-scale recruitments. So there is no shortage of manpower. There is no shortage of manpower. Ethiopian National Defense Force, regional forces have now many more thousands of soldiers than they had in November. In terms of manpower, federal government and regional forces, they are ahead of TDF. In terms of weaponry as well, of course, TDF cannot compare with ENDF in terms of weaponry. Ethiopian National Defense Force has much more weaponry. And whatever weapons TDF has snatched it, captured it from ENDF. Addis is again commenting, Sajid, you are liar, you are liar. And he is the one who watches every video that I make. And under the video he says, you're lying, you're lying. Once again he's busy. Okay, Addis, I'm not banning you, I'll let you do what you're doing. So in terms of manpower, in terms of military resources, Ethiopian National Defense Force has a significant edge over TDF. TDF has some advantages as well. First advantage is that they have the backing of their people, Tigray. So once this war enters Tigray, TDF becomes stronger. Why? Because people start backing TDF. So if once again there is a land invasion of Tigray, you would see TDF becoming stronger in terms of having backing of their people. Secondly, over the past few months, now TDF has captured some weaponry as well. They have tanks, they have artillery, they have some anti-aircraft weaponry as well. So it's not that they're just like OLA. They're an army now. Generals leading different fronts. Migbe leading Gondar front. Then Johannes leading some other front. And same is the case with other generals. They have now their hierarchy like any army has. You don't just think that TDF is an armed group, small group. No. An army, TDF has evolved into an army. So this time you would see TDF showing more resistance. They suffered losses in November last year because of drones used by ENDF. This time, they would try to counter these drones. How will they do it? That remains to be seen. Yimane says, UN Security Council meeting, no action. Yes, it was very much expected. How can UN take action, UN Security Council, when two permanent members are backing Ethiopian government? Russia, China backing Ethiopian government, US backing TPLF, so it was divided, as always. Mandafro says the main problem was manpower. For which side? Important. Jason asks, can TDF free Ethio-Sudan corridor? Yes, this is the question. Well, they have been trying since November to open, since November when this war started. Because at the start of this war, Humera was taken by ENDF. So they have been trying for the last 7 to 8 months to take back Humra, Volkait, Sagede, Western Tigray, corridor with Sudan. They could not. Eritreans are there and some forces, ENDF, Amhara forces as well. They could not. A few days ago, 3 days ago, TDF General said in a press conference that they will open this corridor. Was it just a statement or they have some planning to open this corridor? It's difficult for them. It's especially if from afar ENDF starts offensive towards Mekelle. How can then TDF move towards Western Tigray and open the corridor? It will become difficult. It has become difficult for them. And one of the reasons behind TDF's entry in Amhara and Afar is that they could not open Sudan-Ethiopia corridor. So now they're trying to open this corridor through Gondar. They want to cut off Gondar, Western Tigray roads to open Sudan-Tigray corridor. It's not working so far. That is why Ethiopian government believes it's in a position of strength, that Tigray is still under siege. Western retake EDF. A slight interruption, I'm back. What are the protests in Addis Ababa? Yes, important question, viewers. Iricha is being celebrated by Oromos. It's a festival, Thanksgiving festival, 2-day event. Today gathering was organized in Addis Ababa. Tomorrow is very crucial, viewers, because today in the gathering which was organized in Addis Ababa, people chanted slogans against PM Abiy. They demanded release of Oromo leaders like Jawar Mohammed who are in prison. And then reportedly Ethiopian Federal Police intervened. Clashes broke out and reportedly some protesters have been arrested as well, injured as well. Tomorrow is the second day of this festival, Iricha, and tomorrow gathering will be organized in Bishoftu, another city of Oromia. What will happen in Bishoftu tomorrow? That remains to be seen. But so far, as I said in a video a few hours ago, that main Oromo leaders are behind bars. Who will lead this protest? There is no leader to lead a movement, a street movement against PM Abiy. But people are angry. Not majority of the participants, but we saw an expression of anti-government sentiment in today's gathering in Addis Ababa. Relaxation says talk about role of Eritrean forces during upcoming ENDF offensive. If you have been watching my videos, I've been saying for several months that had there been no Eritrean forces, it would have been very difficult for ENDF to take control of Mekele, Axom, Shire in November last year. Eritreans were the difference between TDF and ENDF. So if Eritreans join Ethiopian National Defense Force, we could see pressure upon TDF because they'll be fighting on so many fronts. It would become difficult for them to fight. If Eritreans start advancing from Adigrat and from other places on Tigray-Eritrea border, and ENDF starts moving from afar, Amhara forces from western Tigray, once again, Tigray would be squeezed on all sides. Role of Eritrean forces is very important, and they'll be part of this offensive. Because Abiy, Isaias, they are the same. If Abiy starts a major offensive on Tigray, you will see Eritreans there as well. Someone is asking about Sudan. Now they have their own problems. You know what's happening there. Protests everywhere in eastern Sudan, Kassala, in Khartoum. Military politicians are face to face. I don't see Sudan intervening in Ethiopia. They are fighting for their own survival now. Beatles, I'm back for the stream. Thank you, Beatles. What are the guarantees that new ENDF weapons will not be captured by TDF? Well, you can guarantee about drones and fighter jets that they cannot be captured by TDF. And drones and aircrafts are going to be part of this new offensive. Other weaponry, yes, can be captured by TDF. Someone is saying, I think in the long run, Tigray will be defeated, TDF will be defeated. Who is creating hunger? Barakat Tibobo says. Who is creating hunger? Well, I would give you my opinion, impartial and neutral opinion. Of course, Ethiopian government is responsible. There is no doubt about that. It's not that Ethiopian government wants to kill Tigrayans. It's not that, viewers. Ethiopian government wants to cripple TDF. It wants to ensure that no aid reaches Tigray Defense Force. That is why it's slowing down the delivery of aid to Tigray. But in this process, people of Tigray are suffering. So hunger, and viewers, this hunger which is now in Tigray, it's spreading. You are seeing what's happening in Amhara, in Afar. Tens of thousands displaced there as well. In Amhara, in Afar. We don't talk much about those people. It's not that those people are living in comfortable conditions, no. They are facing difficulties too. They are facing problems related to food, water, sanitation too. If this war goes on, other regions of Ethiopia will become more destabilized. This hunger, which is in Tigray now, it will creep into Amhara, into Afar, and ultimately all Ethiopians will suffer. That is why the war should come to an end. Can we say ENDF has recovered from the losses it suffered? Yeah, yes, we can say ENDF has purchased weaponry. It has done some recruitments. It has now overwhelming support of regional forces. If you remember November offensive last November, not all regions were part of that offensive. Amharas, Afars were part of that offensive. But now all regions are behind, the regional governments are behind ENDF, are behind PM Abiy. That's why I say PM Abiy is not planning his escape, as someone was saying. ENDF is stronger now in terms of manpower, in terms of weaponry. They are stronger. And Tigray Defense Force is experienced. TDF is more experienced this time. It suffered in November. It had to withdraw from Mekelle. Now it can make decisions on the basis of what it went through in November last year. We love you, my brother. Someone is saying by the name of A. Thank you, A. RUNSC Abiy is ready to move again into Mekelle. I don't think that PM Abiy would like to take control of Mekelle. Again, that's open to discussion. I think they would like to do surgical operations, airstrikes, because once they enter Tigray, then withdrawal from Tigray would become difficult, and people of Tigray would become their responsibility. Now they are saying that Tigray is being starved by TPLF. But once ENDF enter Tigray, the people of Tigray would be Ethiopian government's responsibility. So ideally, I think they would try to remain out of Tigray and conduct their operations in Tigray as well, in the form of airstrikes, in the form of other operations and drone strikes. But it can happen, a full-scale offensive on Tigray, it can happen. Will US put new sanctions on Ethiopian government? Yes, it's very likely that in coming days we could see very tough sanctions, because Ethiopian government is not backing down. It's not only confronting the US, it's confronting the UN as well. It has expelled top 7 officials of the UN. So we could see some very tough sanctions against Ethiopian government in coming days, especially economic sanctions against Ethiopian entities. Why isn't TDF making major advance to cities? Why isn't TDF making advance to cities? What do you mean by that? TDF was making advance. It has Kobo under its control. It has Lalibela. It has Voldia. It has Kobo Robit. It has Marsa. It has other places as well. It's not advancing because it is being stopped. Important question. Do you think new offensive is a propaganda? Yes. Important question. Is Ethiopian government really planning a new offensive, or just it's just a propaganda? Well, Ethiopian government is planning something. There is no doubt about that. It's planning a new phase of this war. But we can discuss about what type of this new offensive is going to be. a full-scale attack on Tigray or limited attacks, airstrikes on Tigray. That can be debated. But Ethiopian government will definitely start a new phase of this war. Why? Because Wollo is under TDF viewers, almost entire North Wollo. Wag Himra, entire Wag Himra under TDF. TDF is in North Gondar too. It's moving towards Dassi, a bit pushed a little bit back from Dassi. So TDF is in control of several key places in Amhara. How will you push TDF out of these places? You need something new. So something new is being planned, no doubt about that. What remains to be seen is the mode of new strategy adopted by ENDF. What is your income for your daily life? I can't add on your videos. Firstly, I don't earn anything from people who watch my videos in Ethiopia. Ethiopia does not allow YouTube ads. So though thousands of viewers watch me in Ethiopia every day, I don't get a penny from Ethiopia. I don't earn thousands of dollars on daily basis from this channel viewers. It's not that I'm a wealthy man. But I can make both ends meet by whatever I earn from my channel, from other sources as well. I have other sources of income too. Is Ethiopian expulsion of UN a secret demand from Isaias? Well, we try to drag Isaias into each and every conflict in Ethiopia. Isaias expelled UN workers long ago, but definitely now it seems that Ethiopian government is following Isaias. They're doing what Isaias did in the past. Any possibility TDF will surrender in the long run? No, TDF will not surrender. TDF will not surrender. They'll die fighting because there is conviction on their side that they are being victimized, that Ethiopian government wants to crush TPLF. Ethiopian government wants to crush Tigray. When you have this belief that someone is after your life, your identity, your ethnicity, you don't surrender, you fight. They'll keep on fighting. Will OLA and TDF join operations put pressure upon Abiy? Yes, only if they manage to join hands on the ground, not on paper. So far, they have stuck an alliance on paper. In the field, on the ground, they are far away from each other. OLA is in Oromia. It tried to move towards Oromia-Amhara border. It could not. It had to withdraw from border areas. TDF is in North Wollo. It's trying to move towards South Wollo, close to Oromian border, still far away from it. They can be a formidable alliance in the field if they manage to reach those areas where they can plan joint operations. So far, not possible. They are far away from each other. Halo Media says his income is coming from TPLF. TPLF is in need of money. TPLF is in need of money. It's trying to get money from wherever it can. It's not in a position to fund anyone. Would you like to fund me, Hello Media? I see you commenting under each and every video I make that I am being paid by someone. I don't need anyone's money. There is no point in earning money if you don't deserve it. Earn and get what you deserve. So the money which you take as bribe, as corruption, I detest it, I abhor it. How many drones do you think Abiy has purchased? No one knows, Mandafro. No one knows how many drones have they purchased. No one knows. But almost all experts agree they have purchased drones. Which types? Probably Iranian or Turkish. How many? Not clear. Is TDF close to capturing Gondar or Bahirdar? No. No, TDF is not close to capturing Gondar or Bahirdar. TDF's offensive on Gondar has been repelled. TDF had to withdraw. RRTNs intervened, and TDF is nowhere close to Gondar city. Same is the case with Bahirdar. TDF is in Mdevak. It's trying to cross the bridge towards Ibnath. Ibnath is not under TDF. So Bahirdar, Gondar, both are safe. TDF is not nowhere close to these two places. Do you believe that you are impartial? Real asks. Well, this question can be answered by viewers. I am impartial or not. Do you think the international community is impartial? Because international community is never impartial in conflicts. Countries have their interests. They back those sides who are aligned with their interests. Whether they are right or wrong, it does not matter. So, in all conflicts, it has been happening, viewers, that international community is always divided. It's not something new we're saying in Tigray. What happened in Syria? What happened in Libya, in Afghanistan? Most of your viewers are not from Ethiopia. No. Let me tell you about viewership of this channel. This channel is watched in Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia, Sudan, the US, Australia, Canada, Germany, Sweden, Norway, UK. Around 40 to 50 countries are there which are shown in analytics where this channel is watched. So it's not that it's just being watched in the Horn. It's watched around the world. Some diplomats contacted me as well a few days ago, and they said that in diplomatic circles your channel is watched because you are covering this conflict continuously and regularly. So I have the pleasure of being watched across the world. Viewers, 40 minutes have passed. It was a great live chat session. I think now I should end this session. Thank you for joining. We discussed the topic, which was the main topic. What is PM Abiy planning? Right now he is planning his new government, and after a few days, new offensive in the making. Ethiopian Air Force, newly purchased drones are going to be major part of new offensive. Thank you for watching, viewers. See you next Saturday in the next live chat session. Thank you. Bye bye.